I really would. Anyway, this is interesting. Let's go to the midfield situation before we wrap up. Check this out. If Enzo Fernandez leaves, Kieran Gill says, one new name I have heard is Martin Zubimendi. Though recent checks at Arsenal suggested he is expected to stay, Alonso is a fan of Zubimendi and vice versa. Apparently, Alonso and Zubimendi do in fact share the same agent. So that could be a factor. We've heard of Zubimendi for about 2 weeks now. Yeah, overall. His name has popped up in moments. Apologies. So that is something to pay attention to. But when I look at Arsenal and I look at their midfield, I'm being honest here, they would be foolish to let go of Zubimendi. And why? Because they've got Declan Rice, they've got Zubimendi, they've got Bruno G. There's 2 spots, there's 4 competitions. You can't possibly think you're just going to have 2, run them into the ground, and think that's going to work and it's going to be okay. I personally think that's crazy. The little bit of protection is needed. I think it would be wise of them to keep Zubimendi, and whenever they need to rotate, they rotate, and they still have quality. That's how I see it for Arsenal. So I'd be surprised if Arsenal were to let him go, if I'm honest. I think that would be a really bad move for Arsenal if they were to let go of Zubimendi. I really do. I would take Zubimendi. I think that would be class. I really do. I'll be all over that. I just don't think it's realistic. Hence why I've not really spoken on him. We've heard his name, right? It's been touted, it's been mentioned, but I just don't see it. I just don't see it. For me, this is just a non-thing, you know? So let's see. If it were to happen, though, I would be really happy. But would you? Let me know. Let me know down below. Much appreciated. As we wrap up, pay attention to what Kieran Gill said here as well. Internally, Chelsea's minimum target is to finish in the top 4 and to see where that takes them from there. I said this a while back. Do you remember when I said what the target actually is from within the club and what would be said publicly? There you go. This is what's being said publicly. Like I said, what apparently is the aim within isn't to finish in the top 4. It's to go for the title. Why? Because they see a vacuum. Arsenal are there. Cool, but Pepper's left. Because Pepper's left, like I say, there's a vacuum. And it's on us now with a manager, with better players, to be able to try and take advantage of that vacuum and put ourselves into the mix. Arsenal are definitely doable. They're achievable in terms of where they are. They're not lighting it up on a level where it's like, oh my God, but they've been super consistent, right? They've done all the basics correct and they've got to a good level.
He pointed out they didn't think that was right. The club had made a big mistake.
Can you understand the way Chelsea responded to Enzo on Saturday, or Chelsea fans?
Yeah, I can. I mean, if it's from a England-Argentina standpoint, then of course I get it. But also the way he's conducted himself there. I mean, when he made all that noise about Maresca after he left, and then I always felt like, what about the new manager coming in? Do you know what I mean? And there's no getting away from it. He's got talent. You have to say that. He does seem to produce big goals in big games, by the way. Yeah. I still think the price tag was way too high, but it's the going rate now for midfield players. And if he left Chelsea, I think it's Chelsea with Caicedo, who I'm a big fan of. I think if Lavia could stay fit, then I think they're okay, Chelsea, in the middle of the park with Lavia there, because you know Cole Palmer can play the 10. If you have to, Morgan Rogers can play in there as a 10. You can play Palmer wide as well. So I think there are options there for Chelsea. But yeah, you know what fans are like. Fans, if they feel like you've disrespected that football club, then they're going to let you know about it. Like Cucurella did it and then got out of there. So he's all right, he ain't got to deal with it. Enzo's still there. But my only thing is with this, right, is that I get it. He loves Enzo Maresca. So there's a kind of a link there. But the noise that he was talking about last year was Real Madrid. It was all Real Madrid. So the fact that now it's not Real Madrid, they've opted to not go for him, and now it's Manchester City. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. But if you can get 120 million for him, Chelsea.
Oh, you've done incredibly well.
Yeah,
well, City missed that deadline which Chelsea set. I didn't really understand that. If they come back with 120 million pounds,
Chelsea take it. But it depends though. If Man City come back to Chelsea with an hour left of the window, they'll say no. Like the last thing Xabi Alonso wants.
Then if they would, I see, because you got to replace him.
You got to replace him.
Yeah, maybe.
So I think maybe that's why Chelsea gave the deadline. But even if they're working behind the scenes now, if you want to sell him, or he doesn't want to be there. Get the money for him now so Jabi Alonso can replace him.
After City's performance yesterday against Mob, which was poor, below average for City, do you think they're even more desperate now to get him? Did you look at that and think that's one of the key areas?
Do you know what? Taking him out of it completely anyway. Obviously, Reinders has left as well. Bernardo Silva's not there. The fact Rodri's now gone. That's the.
Well, you can't feel that.
That void is. I'm intrigued to see what that's going to do, because you look over the last few years, the impact he's had. So you had Rodri winning the Euros with Spain when no one really thought Spain was going to win it. He's obviously been brilliant for Manchester City. He has the big injury. Man City struggled without him. Right, comes back, and even at the start of last season wasn't great. Towards the end of the season, started to look like his old
self. Champions League final.
Yeah, Inter Milan. Yeah, that was way before the injury. Though.
Yeah, no, I know. But I'm just saying how important he is in big games.
Comes back into last season, started to look more like himself. Goes to the World Cup, is absolutely sensational for Spain. They win the World Cup.
Player of the tournament.
Player of the tournament, right? He leaves. They're not going to fill that void.
You can't win.
I think it's proving that everybody at Aston Villa has a price. Now, Aston Villa have been brilliantly balancing a financial tightrope over the last couple of seasons, haven't they? They've been right on the edge of what they're allowed to spend from UEFA and Premier League rules. And I think because of that, they have to maximise market value for each and every player. And that's what you're seeing now with Ezri Konsa and Ollie Watkins. Both have 2 years left on their current deals. You've got Ezri Konsa, who's 28 years of age, and you're thinking, right, this is probably a big chance for me at the peak of my career to get a big move. Hence, the Arsenal interest is probably very, very interesting to him. And then you've got Ollie Watkins, who's 2 years older at the age of 30, thinking, well, hang on a minute, I've been consistently scoring goals in the Premier League. I haven't got the Arsenal move that was linked a couple of years ago. Maybe now's the time to seek a new challenge and cash in, obviously, as well. So interesting to see with the Arsenal interest. We know they're at an advanced stage, so it looks as though a deal may well be able to become to an agreement. As for Al Hilal, we know it's a slightly different situation when it comes to Villa have rejected the opening bids. They're waiting to see how high Al Hilal will go and whether actually Watkins wants to move. Well, we know he wants to talk to them. That doesn't necessarily mean he wants to go. So a lot of variables, but it definitely shows that Aston Villa are willing to move on players if they can get the value that they think is right.
Here we go, 2 massive stories from Stamford Bridge, and I have been told both are now advancing at the same time. Chelsea are working on parallel tracks, one keeping a key man, one bringing in a new leader for midfield. Let's get into it, because there is a lot of information to share. First, João Pedro. Sources close to the player confirmed terms on a new deal have been agreed in principle. This is not a rumor anymore, this is documentation stage. The structure includes an improved salary, a release clause adjustment, and a longer commitment through the club's next cycle of ambition. Chelsea's hierarchy see him as central, not peripheral, and today's paperwork is the proof. Second, Martin Zubimendi. This one has been building for weeks behind the scenes, quietly, away from the noise. Chelsea's recruitment department have accelerated contact in the last 48 hours. Full details after the break. Trust me, this is concrete, not speculation.